Hey family, it's your favorite cousin, John David Kroll out of Michigan, and I just wanted to give you a little update on the work that we're doing on our genealogy, our family tree, and some projects that we got coming up in our next family reunion in 2017 in Atlanta. A lot of you guys know that we've been working really hard on putting together our family tree and getting our family bonds tight and put back together again so that we all know exactly how we're related. A lot of us know that we're related, but we don't necessarily know how we're related. So we've been doing a lot of work on getting our family tree tight and put together again so that those connections can be bigger and better and stronger than ever before. But just to put some things in perspective for you guys, I just want to talk about having more family representation at the family reunions. This past family reunion down in Fort Walton Beach was fantastic. We had more than 100 people show up, and there was representation from at least 5 different family lines from the original Andrew and Maggie Hendricks families. Now there's 17 children in the Andrew and Maggie Hendricks family lines, but only 5 families were represented. I'm going to call out the names of all of the original 17 just so that we can hear those names now. Harley, that we call Troy, Levi, Desi, Renzi, Lester, Will Hendricks, Lula Hendricks, Lemuel, Beulah, Jack, Ola, Reamer, Mary, Lehman, Linton, Rastus, that we all called Uncle Ralph, and Gertrude. Now, out of those original 17 families, there were only 5 families represented at the family reunion. Now, not all of those original 17 had children, but I think at least 10 of them did. And we could double the amount of family representation we have if we just reach out to more family members and encourage them to plan ahead and come and join us and get reconnected to this family reunion that we have, because it's a beautiful thing. Being connected to family changed my life, and I think that there are other children in the family, children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren, who may need to be connected for whatever reason. You know what I mean? You got the prodigal son who gets out there, and they just need to be brought back into the fold so that they can have more love in their life and be a little bit more secure. Now, the 5 families that were represented, I think, there may be more. If I'm wrong, put a little message below. But Levi Hendricks, obviously, that family was represented. Renzi Hendricks, Uncle Buddy's family was represented. Will Hendricks. The bulk of the family reunion came from Lula Hendricks. That's all the Marshall families and the Brutons, right? And then we had the Gertrude Hendricks family line. They were there. So let's see, Gertrude, Lula, Will, Uncle Buddy, and Levi. Those were the families that were represented at that family reunion. And not everybody, not all of the children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren came to the family reunion, obviously. What I want to do, guys, is I want to put together a program where we reach out, or more of us, not just the committee, but more of us reach out to family members and encourage them to come. Because I think people come or don't come based upon the connections that they have with family who are gonna go to the reunion. I know that I got phone calls from dozens and dozens of people making sure that I was gonna be there because they wanted to see me there because we had a connection. I was calling a lot of other cousins that I met at the previous reunions because I wanted to see them again at the next reunion. There's an entire family of 200 or 300 people up in Rochester, New York from the Will Hendricks family line that could have come down to the reunion. But we probably need to just work on cultivating those relationships a little bit more and making sure that we plan ahead to either get them to come down south if we have it in the south, or to get more people from down south to go up north and have a family reunion up there. That might make it a little easier since we always come down south. But the point I'm trying to make, guys, is that if we reach out and if we make connections with more family members on our Facebook page, on our Google, on our other social media pages, we could probably double the attendance at the next family reunion. And it's not about having a big family reunion, but the more the merrier. The more cousins that we can meet, the more family that we can meet and be connected with, I think the better off it makes us, right? Because there's more love added onto it. Now, just to give you guys a little bit of perspective on what's possible, okay? We're just talking about the Andrew and Maggie Hendricks family line. Now, the parents of Andrew and Maggie Hendricks are Littleton and Margaret Hendricks, okay? And Littleton had 13 children. Out of those 13, one of them is the Andrew and Maggie Hendricks family line. And I've been in touch with representatives from each one of those, almost each one of those 13 family lines. For example, I'm gonna call those names out. Eliza Hendricks, Louisa, Rachel, Charlie, Andrew, that's our family, Moselle, Ellen, Littleton, Ira, they called him Ira, Thomas, Amos, Randall, Letha, and Peter. All of the family people that we've been connected so far come from Andrew and Maggie Hendricks. And if we added up all of the descendants from Andrew and Maggie Hendricks, that's easily more than 1,000 people. I haven't even added them all up yet, but it's easily more than 1,000 people. And if there are 13 families from Littleton and Margaret Hendricks, this could easily be a family of over 10,000 people that are directly related to us. Each one of these families has a family reunion just like ours that is just as big, just as beautiful, and just as put together as ours. For example, the Eliza Hendricks family, they have a family reunion on the same schedule that we do. I think they do theirs every year. But out of that family, there's probably 1,000 Hendricks family members that are directly related to us that most of us probably don't even know. And it would be fantastic to one day get all of us together again, just to show the world that slavery didn't destroy us. Slavery didn't break all of our family bonds, that we can put this family back together again and be bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. I know it's an ambitious goal. I know it might not mean anything to a lot of you guys, because some of you guys say, why do you want to know all your cousins? Some of these people I don't want to know. I want to know all of them. I want to know every last one of them, whether you drive a Cadillac or ride the bus. I want to know all my family. Because the ones in the family who are doing well and have access to resources can share those resources and that knowledge and that information with family members who aren't doing so well. I think that that's what this thing is all about. It might be my own little, goal or my own little thing, but I think there's a lot of us in this family who appreciate being connected, and there's a lot of us in this family who benefit from the knowledge and wisdom that other family members can offer us. I know that my life has changed meeting Uncle Freddie and Uncle David Marshall. Just to have those patriarchs in my family give me a certain sense of pride that I didn't have, because we didn't have a lot of older men in our family before I got connected to the family reunion. And I don't ever want that to happen to another wayward child or another wayward son or daughter. Hey guys, we're working on a really important project to gather documentation for family members. Documentation like obituaries, photographs, any type of marriage records that you have stuck in a closet somewhere. So what we want you to do is go to your grandmother or your auntie or your grandfather, whoever has that one box in the closet with all the family memorabilia, and I want you to see if you can go there and scan that information. They might not let you take it out of the house, so be prepared to take your computer and scan it. Don't just rely on your cell phone camera unless you got a really sophisticated cell phone like an iPhone or an Android device, and you can really take a good picture of that document or that photo. But I want to see if we can gather pictures of the original 17 children. There's a lot of family members that we've never even seen pictures of them before. Like I don't have any pictures of Gertrude. We just recently found a picture of Lula. It wasn't until the first reunion that we attended in 2011 that a family member, Sheree Randolph, up in Rochester, New York, went into an uncle's closet and found a picture of my great-grandfather, Will Hendricks. It's the only picture we know to exist of Will and Mamie Hendricks. This is so valuable to our family, guys, that we can't let it fall by the wayside. And you know how this works. Somebody passes away, one of the grandkids goes into the house, they reach inside, see all these pictures of people that they don't know, they throw them away or destroy them or put them in a box and they disappear. We don't want that to ever happen again. So if you have the time and the availability, and you have a grandmother or an aunt or an uncle that has information that we could use, let me know and I'll help you gather it together. We're looking for obituaries, because obituaries have a ton of information in it, and we're looking for family photos of the original 17, and then also their children, because there's a lot of family that we don't have pictures of yet, and we just want to represent our family. We want to make sure we keep these bonds together, so a great-great-great-grandchild 50 or 100 years from now will be able to look back and say, that was the uncle who changed our family line. That was the uncle who put together a business or went off to college for the first time or did something and made our family better. And it's my responsibility to carry on that legacy. The more of this information we keep and retain, the bigger and stronger our family ties will be, guys. So if you need help, I'm gonna put my phone number and my email address in the description below. But if you need help, call me and I'll help you figure out a way to scan it. I'm also gonna be reaching out to some family members, because I'm gonna take some road trips and I'm gonna see if I can drive down to Florida, Georgia, maybe even to Rochester, New York, and I'm gonna see if I can go and get in some of those closets and use my computers and my technology to help scan some of those obituaries and pictures. But if you guys can help us gather that information up, I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Grandparents and great-grandparents, any information that we have about those family members would be greatly helpful. Also, try and talk to your grandparents before their memory fades. There's a lot of people in our family that are in their 70s, 80s, and even 90s, and their memories are starting to fade a little bit. And once their memory goes, that information is gone forever. So if you get a chance, talk to them, gather up their memories. And if we can, let's see if we can sit down and even record it, either on camera or on audio. Guys, we want to keep our legacy alive. Thanks for all your help. I got a bunch of news coming up shortly once we get it organized, but we've made some breakthroughs in our family genealogy that is going to change everything, guys. I love you. I'll talk to you soon, and I can't wait to see you at the next family reunion.